Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands. Welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out an act named Shortcut to Infinity with their single I Know. Switching over to Spotify here, we have the first single on their Spotify account. As I understand it, they're going to be releasing an EP later in the year around November, a 6-track one, so that's exciting. We're going to listen to I Know from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go.
I know it is getting out of control. All the fears that I don't show.
Damn, man, straight into it, those vocals, and then the guitar, bass, and drums. It's nice and loud, actually. I have these at a conservative level, just so I can remain objective about the various elements of the mix and mastering and all that, but it's nice and full sounding.
Thinking make me slow, and in the shadows they do grow. Oh baby, baby, please look out. There will be
Nice sort of sizzle to the vocalists kind of lines. You can still hear what he's saying clearly, but there's just a nice coloration that kind of matches the grit of the guitar tones.
when I black out. Don't want you to be around. Want you to be safe and sound. You deserve it better. I have to let you go. You deserve it better, baby. Yes, I know.
You deserve better. I have to let you go. You deserve better. That's interesting. I want to hear this whole song in context before I talk about the lyrics too much. I like how we're kind of getting the story nice and straightforward, and we can kind of understand what they're talking about. I'm liking how this bridge is a clear change from the verse, and you can tell that, but there's not a whole massive shift. You've still got the kind of quarter note groove of the drums right along and making it sort of like easy to understand, and it just thumps, man. It thumps. The kick and snare have been mixed in a way where they're nice and full, and they just kick your ass, and it's great.
Wanna be the strong man on your side, but I'm more Jekyll than I am Hyde. When the situation's about to collide, you better run and hide.
What are we happening here? I like this nice little fade out. We're having the drums stop for a minute. It helps to appreciate the rest of the instrumental elements. And I'm liking the tracking of the guitars. It's a fairly solid performance. There's some nice kind of like the rhythm is solid as heck, and this kind of like pseudo mid-range stuff is kind of dope as well. Kind of power rock, kind of metal kind of vibe from this. Oh, that fill there was sick. I know I keep pausing this, and there's probably people watching this saying, stop pausing the video, but especially with this kind of music, there's a lot of stuff to point out. Oh,
There's just a downside. When Dr. Jekyll turns into Hyde.
this lower range of the vocals is so sultry, man. I love it. I love it. It suits the kind of lower tonality, these sort of dropped power chords or whatever, so well.
He doesn't love you, but I do. It is getting
Damn, that halftime kind of bit, that drop there, that kind of, yo, he doesn't love you. I love you. Pay attention to me. I can treat you right. This is the kind of stuff where in a single, you kind of need to talk about stuff like this so that you get people's attention. People need to be able to sort of relate to what you're singing about and what you're talking about.
I can feel it, it's time to go. Oh baby, baby, please look out. He's coming back, there's no doubt. Don't want you to be around. Want you to be safe and sound. You deserve it better. I have to let you go. You deserve it better, baby. Yes, I know.
We got this kind of inner argument, this battle. Like we're in the bridge, we're talking about, yeah, I know you deserve better, but he doesn't love you. I do in this next section.
Something within can be tamed. It's getting stronger. I'm afraid. Starts by making me outraged, making me blind. Turns love to hate.
Making me blind turns love to hate. Wow. This is like that inner struggle. There's a lot of conflicting emotions going on right now. That journey for dealing with our interactions and our relationships and all that is rough. And the guitar and bass and drums is just carrying it along. You can just nod your head and kind of groove to it. It's one of the tracks where like you can either take an interest like intently in the vocals and listen through that story and really kind of vibe to it, or you can just enjoy it for the sake of the music itself. I think it's important to do both. The drum recordings and mixing stuff, I like it. I like from the sounds of it, I think we're all recording on an acoustic kit. I say that because a lot of people use drum samples nowadays. There's a nice response to a lot of these hits.
There's just a downside.
Those kind of gang chants kind of there are kind of dope.
Turns into light. He doesn't love you, but
Oh man, I tell you what, nowadays I do not listen to enough guitar solos, and oh, that is a luscious tone to that guitar lead, man. That wah pedal just, I love it. I can just tell that guitarist is having a whole lot of fun with this. I'm glad that we're doing the solo like this and that is not some sort of virtuoso kind of Odyssean kind of journey across the entire fretboard. Now that's cool at the end. That sort of like run there, I can hear what's happening despite the sort of wah stuff. Having that's cool. That's great. But if you've got like a sort of a melodic theme there, you kind of want to have it sort of semi-similar to the vocal kind of passage. Because if you don't have that similarity, it just seems like the lead guitarist is just going for a run whilst everyone's it needs to be stylistically cohesive, and I think that solo was well handled. And going back to this hook, that must be incredibly difficult to do vocals like that. I know I've been talking about the singer a lot. The bass playing, man, I haven't talked about the bass, and often the best compliment you can give is that the bassist is just working with the drums. The bassist was solid as hell the entire time. Very well done. Very well done bass. You know, it sounds nice and full in the mix. Solid. I love what the bass was doing. I love the guitar parts on either side. I love how they were recorded and mixed and stereo panned and all that. I'm liking how straightforward and to the point the song was. I love the personality and the attitude behind it. And I love the fact that these guys are going to be going back into the studio later this year to record more tracks for an EP. I think this is going to be great. I don't hear enough of this kind of music anymore. I'm one of those people who, like, outside of reviews, I either listen to like super duper soft stuff or really heavy stuff because, man, when you when you review X amount of 1,000 tracks in the space of a year, you need a dopamine hit, you know? And it's usually only the really heavy stuff or like the really kind of light stuff. But these guys, this is something about them that's kind of special. I just love the passion that they obviously exhibit for their craft. Like I can just from the way they were playing, the dynamic range there, the way things shift and sort of serpentine throughout. The fills, those drum fills, those 16th note grooves were just so flawless. And the solo, just I've got nothing but love for these guys. And I really hope they continue to put out more material. And I'll be keeping an eye out for what they do in future. Again, that guy who's doing the singer has phenomenal vocal technique. To be able to sort of do those vocals like that and not ruin your throat is incredibly impressive. It's not an easy thing to do. It's really difficult because if you don't have good technique when you do those kind of growly, kind of sizzly ones, you're just going to have scars there, man. And for this guy to be doing it professionally like this, credit. And we just got the end of the song here.
I bloody know.
Nice finish to that. Nope, I really dig that. That's really cool. A nice way to end it, kind of like a that's a nice little fill. It's great. It's cool. You bloody know. Bit of attitude at the end there. I wish Shortcut to Infinity the best of luck in future. Hopefully, and you enjoyed this review of I Know by Shortcut to Infinity. Please do go Shortcut to Infinity some love and keep an eye on their Spotify for later in the year. Stay cool, stay safe, remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. As you know, the hell more than ever thought the crazy stuff going on. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything. I think that like at this length, at 3.5 minutes, it told the story it needed to. You got the idea that it was about a guy kind of like trying to communicate to the lover that like he understands the complexities of the situation as to why things didn't work out. He understands that maybe there needed to be more work done to improve things on their own part. You can get that concept within 3.5 minutes. It wouldn't have necessarily needed to be any longer than this. The solo section was succinct enough that it was meaningful without being sort of pretentious. And, like, the main thing was adhered to in a sense that the 3.5 minutes melded together extremely well. I can't imagine there being a need to sort of go longer than this, and it fit really well within that 2 to 4 minute bracket for singles nowadays. Excellent work. Excellent work. Really, genuinely proud of these guys. Can't really fault it. Please do go and show some love to the various local musicians at this point in time. As they need all the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And catch you in the next review. Spider hands up.